So, tutorial UE5 how to start a third-person sample project, make an AI character patrol on a path, make an AI character run around a map, and make an AI character follow the player. Um, so yeah, I'll just walk people through from scratch how to do that stuff. It's pretty, I think, valuable to know how to do this for most developers, just because it just helps you understand how Unreal thinks. Anyway, so when you download Unreal and install it, you'll get to this Epic Game Launcher, and you can just add versions. Unreal, hit launch. I did it already earlier. If it's usually, I think this starts if you don't have projects already. You have different sample projects for sure. Open all these up, try them out, experiment, have fun, make games. I'm gonna call this number 6. I've been doing this a few times to kind of try and remember how to do it so I'm not futzing around too much about it. The first time you load the editor, it'll take a little bit longer than this because it has to compile more shaders and stuff. So just be patient. This computer is pretty old, so a lot of machines will open up way quicker and run faster than this, but still works pretty well. You see Unreal's prepping shader still in the corner. It's going through stuff. This is what you get with the sample map. A bunch of simple objects, a player start location. If you hit play, you get a character. WASD controls can move around and jump, and it's all here just so you can start like using Unreal and seeing how they set stuff up and having a good starting point to build off of. You can see the textures are kind of popping in and coming in as they're going. So one of the first things as an animator, you want to go, okay, how do I get to that character and see what is on that character to start like building more assets or making it more interesting animations on that character. Hitting F8 will pop the mouse out so I can use the user interface while the game is running. F8 jumps me back in. I can move the character. F8 pops me out. I can select stuff in the map. I'll select this character and it grabs the settings for the character. I can see that the skeletal mesh it's using is Quinn, and the animation mode is animation blueprint, and it's using this animation blueprint. I can go here and check this out. I can open up Quinn. It might take a second. Game's still running. This is where some of her animation data should be being triggered. But I can see that there's no anim graph. The anim graph is where a lot of the animation logic will sit. You can see over here, parent class ABP Manny. If you hit the magnifying glass, that more or less tells me that this is inheriting information from this object, which this does have more information, and it has an event graph over here. The other window did not. So this is where a lot of the animation logic is for stuff. This is the end results, and then there's a control rig that's doing stuff to this character. A default slot that's set. You can play anims directly on this default slot through scripting. There's a main state machine, and there's a locomotion state machine in a pose. So in here, there's locomotion land. I think this is for jumping. All this is jumping. Open up here. This is using that cache pose from that we looked at a second ago. And here there's idle and walk and run. This is a cool example to show how Unreal works. This preview instance thing means when the game is running, press F8. I'll jump back in, hopefully. Yeah, cool. It's not really, these two things aren't connected. So what you do is, I just Alt-Tab there. You can hit this, go in here. Now I think they're going to be connected. Here we go. Cool. I just clicked like the instant. So now I can see when I stop running with the keyboard, the state machine will move back and forth. So while they're running, and it's stopped and stopped. I can hit T to pause, which is not working. Let's try The pause key on the keyboard works too. So if I like grab it right between the transition, I just released the forward move and it's starting to blend from this walk run over to the idle, and then the logic for the blend is in these little arrows going one direction or the other. It's pretty straightforward. There's a lot to it, but I think on the surface it's pretty easy to start understanding it and just start clicking around and experimenting. So that's a little bit on what is going on with Unreal and how to find assets and use their system. How do we get an AI character in this map? We can go into this open space on any folders or whatever, right click, blueprint class, click characters, all these cool things you can make. There's a lot more assets in here. You can start playing around with this. Most of these things you can just Google, like what is a pawn? What is an Unreal actor? In this case, we're just going to make a character, call it AI character. Let's call this person Bob, AI Bob. So you get a capsule. This is like the collision on the character, and then you can use a mesh object here already. We just got to assign something, Manny in here, and then get the Manny animation blueprint. Boom. Move Manny down so it matches the capsule. Rotate 90 so he faces forward. It's about right. Hit save and compile. Drop him into the map. All right, run the game. Okay, got an AI character doing nothing, just standing there. Okay, how do we make him walk? Okay, AI character Bob, event graph, on begin play, AI move to, let's just move to 0 and see what happens. Self, I don't think this is going to do anything. Oh, first of all, let's figure out where 0 is. The transforms over here, this one's all 0, but it's at 870, it's at this stuff. So 0 in this map is, oh, I just clicked this little arrow to 0 that out, and then I'm going to press F. Okay, 0's over there. I don't think the AI character is going to like being told to move to 0. So if he was there, and maybe move to 740, 1940, X, Y. Let's see if it can do that. I don't think anything will happen. Yeah, nothing's happening. Okay. There's no information for this character to navigate on because we need what's called a nav mesh. That's hiding in a window under, it's usually closed by default, place actors. I think it defaults here. Unreal, you can just drag stuff. I like keeping my stuff tabbed down here. You can, whatever you like doing is fine. Look for nav mesh bounds volume and then scale that puppy up to match your whole area. And if you press P, you'll see the nav mesh start to render. That's it saying, hey, anything green is what this character can navigate to. This character should have no way of getting to this nav island up here because nothing's connecting, but they should be able to get up here through this path, hopefully. We'll see. And we should be telling this character when you start the game to run somewhere over here. And now that it has nav, it might work. Please, yeah. So it worked, but they are not animating. It's just translating all the way over there, and it's happening right away, so it's hard to tell what's going on. One way to tell what's going on is you can simulate instead of press selected viewport. I hit these little drop down arrows. Simulate. Shoots on over there. Still, that's kind of hard to tell what's going on. You can put a delay right here. And maybe 2 seconds. You can change this around however you want to do it. It's your playground. Pops over there. There's no turn animation. There's no turn speed. It just heads on over there. Why is that character not animating? Let's figure that out. For that, we need to go to the animation blueprint on the AI character. So click this, click Manny, go into Manny. This is the same more or less setup. Oh, it even remembers where we were from before, which is nice. And we know we want to go in here, this walk run state from earlier, right? And we got to use this logic to get here. I can see in this it says should move. I do not know what is connected to this. There's probably a way to figure that out. But for now, we're just going to delete this. We're going to right click. We're going to go get speed. Just because this works and I tested it earlier. Greater than, let's say we want to start running if they go 1 centimeter per second. So get speed greater than 1, link here. So that's true. That'll go here. But if we don't do anything here, it won't work from testing earlier. So you go speed, again, get speed. This time less than probably 5. So whenever they're ramping down in speed, it'll go back to idle. And save and hit it. Yeah, cool. One thing to keep in mind is that logic that we changed also applies to the player, so we might have broken her. At the very least, we changed how what is mechanism is going from idle to run and back to idle. But it looks okay. I'm good with this. It looks the same as it did. And the AI character is working. So we are in business. All right. So that's Bob. We can set Bob to do something else that might be more helpful here. For now, I'm going to disconnect this, so he should do nothing. Don't do anything, Bob. Okay, he didn't do anything. That's good. Now I'm going to do it instead on the level blueprint. It's under here, open level blueprint. Make a begin play. Make an AI move. And put Bob right there. And then make a place actor target. And I'm going to put a couple of targets around. See if this works. Let's just make them run in a circle. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Save. I think this is 1. See if this works. Oh, no, it's not working. Let's see. It was working before. So this says level blueprint on begin play. Bob moves here. Target point. And Bob is not told to do anything. Oh. Let's try a couple things. Might need to add this guy. Think so, but maybe. Oh, might need to save the map as something. I had to do this earlier. There it goes. I don't know if I needed it was the saving or the sensing. So I'm gonna delete the sensing and see if he doesn't. Okay, I just needed to save the map because Unreal had a it just wasn't registering these objects because I just opened a map, but I never like renamed it to something unique. So that got the target point saved. And now I want to be in the level blueprint, which is here, and go to the other target points. So I think we go on success. That means more or less when you got to the object, and there's 4 of them. And then I want them to keep looping it, so I'm going to make a event, I think. No, custom event. Custom event. Run in box run. Box run. Trigger that, and then this will trigger box run. Okay, so level starts, box run runs, box run says run here, and then run to 2, and then 3, and then 4, and then do box run again. This is a patrol. All right, come on, you can do this. You can put delays like at the end if you want. Looks like we missed one of the targets, or maybe it's going the other way. Let's see. 4. That's 4. 3, 2, 1. Save. Save. I'm actually surprised he didn't. Success. 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 Oh, here we go. On success. This was just immediately triggering a second time and then restarting, so it never ran to this object. So if I switch it and hold Alt to delete, now it's going to work just fine. Let's see if this works. I think this is a default. Yeah, here we go. So console command, by default this works, slow-mo 5 to speed it up to just see if it's working. There we go. You can also do, if you're testing anims, you can go to a 0.1 and just like check everything out in slow-mo. That's super helpful. All right, so one of the AI characters is done. We're gonna do 2 more really quick. I'm gonna do Bob, call it Bob 2. Bob 2 is going to randomly run around, and I can do that in Bob 2's logic. AI move to random it's fun to just experiment with this stuff and just figure out what works and what doesn't. Random within 500 centimeters of get actor. Shoot, what was it called? This needs to be on self. I might have to look up what goes here. I forgot. Get actor location. Yes, I think this is it. I think this will say, and then you want to delay. You want to do the current, no, custom. I think it was custom event. No, here. Add custom event. We are random move. And then we're going to trigger random move. And then this triggers on self to a random location. I'm going to do a time delay of a range, random float range between 2 and 5 seconds. You can noodle with that and change it around, mess with it. But then after it'll hit this, and then it'll run it again and say move to a new spot. Maybe this will work on Bob 2. And Bob 2 is interesting because they'll just walk around their location relative to itself. Let's see if this works. Oh, I forgot to do another thing. You have to trigger random move again. Otherwise, they won't do another. They'll just do the one random move, which is what we just saw. So this guy, yeah, every couple seconds, he'll randomly move. Okay, one more, and then we're done with the tutorial. This is getting fun. Dupe, Bob, AI character, follow layer. This one's almost the same, but we have all the same logic in here already. I'm just going to use the same stuff and change this to player row. How about, I don't actually know how to get to the player location. Target actor, how about, get actor location, player. I don't know if this will work or not. Compile? Maybe. That might be it. Alright, AI character follow. We can change it just for visuals. We'll change this one to Quinn. I think it'll work just fine. Actually, let's test it first and then try changing it. Yeah, we got a follower. Yeah, so good. I think. Yep. Okay, let's make AI character follow Quinn. Compile. Now Quinn's gonna follow Quinn. Sick. Okay, there it is. It's a lot of stuff to cover. I highly encourage you to experiment and play around with different scripting changes and stuff to see, you can trigger in the animation blueprint, just trigger different anims, just plug stuff up to things, click around, see what happens. It's a ton of useful information. I highly recommend trying to master this, or doing it now and then maybe in a couple of weeks just taking a stab at it again. All right, cool. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye bye.